and welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Now I'm sure you've seen the title of this video and that's why you've clicked onto it. But bear in mind, remember, there's two sides to every story. Before you jump the gun, listen to the story. It's the same when you're watching YouTube videos. Watch the full YouTube video before you make a comment, because there's always two sides to the story. Now, basically, one time, well, it's happened to me twice. And what's happened to me is I was valeting a car once. There was some money I found. It was notes. And the way I work is, in my head, I always believe that the person who has dropped the car off has put hidden cameras all over the car. And the reason why I do that is, I then think that in my head and I work accordingly. So in other words, I make sure I do everything so right that it can't be, you know, missed wrong that I was doing something. So what happened is, I was valeting the car, and obviously when you're valeting cars, you always find kind of coins and stuff, like the 5-cent coins and stuff. You might hoover some of them up, and that's just the way it is, but you know, you always try and pick them up and you put them somewhere in the car so you don't hoover up, because even 5 cents, you don't want to even be accused of stealing anything, whether it's, you know, a big amount or a small amount. You just don't want to. So what I did was, I normally put them in the kind of the center part of the car, but I found notes this time, so I put them in the glove box. So the customer came back. I told him to check the car, and of course this is a full day gone past now, and I just completely and utterly forgot about leaving the money in the glove box. I just forgot. I said, "Are you happy enough with the car?" And he was going around, and I could see his head. He wasn't particularly happy, and I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" I said, "Are you okay with it?" Didn't really say anything. Then all of a sudden he says, "I'm sorry, but you know, where's my money?" I said, "What do you mean, where's your money?" He said, "I left money and blah blah blah." And I was just about to say something to him, and he just goes off on this huge rant that I'm screwing in, that I'm doing this, and he even knew exactly, it was 2 notes, and he knew exactly what it was. So I kind of think he put it there on purpose. And in my head, I'm thinking, I can tell you exactly where they are, but he was just banging on that much. I didn't even have chance to say something. And the more I think about it, the more I think he was just doing it on purpose. So I let him go off. I was kind of smiling to myself. I let him go off on this huge rant that seemed to last for hours. Obviously it wasn't, it was only maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but it just seemed to last for hours. And then he's like, "Oh, have you got, you know, you're screwed, but I'm not paying you now, blah, 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 blah." I said, "You are paying me." I said, "I've done my job and you are paying me." "Blah, blah, blah, I'm going to ring the police, I'm going to do all this." I says, "No problem." I says, "Ring the police, do anything you want." I said, "But if I was you first, I would just look in the glove box first." "What do you mean, what do you mean, what do you mean?" I said, "If I was you, before you do anything," I was really calm, I said, "I would look in the glove box first." So he opens the glove box, and the 2 notes are in there. And he just completely stopped. And then here's me thinking, I'm going to get an apology here, you know. But I think he was that embarrassed, he didn't want to say something. And I think, now thinking back on it, it was maybe a trap to try and not pay for the work. So I got the money out of him, which was even that was difficult. But I wouldn't let the car go without getting paid. And I also then said to him, I said, "Look, I've got I think I've got 26 cameras around my place." I said, "There's cameras all around here." I said, "Call anyone you want, do anything you want, no problem whatsoever. The money's there. I just completely forgot because I found it first thing in the morning and you came and collected in the evening. I just forgot, because, you know, these things, the phone's ringing, customers are coming in, you know, all sorts of things are happening, and you can't keep track, or you can't remember exactly everything. And because it's not a thing I do every day as regards valeting, you know, you don't find money every day. There is money in people's cars every day, but because I just leave it, you just kind of don't think of these things. So what I'm trying to get at is, don't say anything before you know the full story. Like, people have clicked on this video because of the title. Always, there's 2 sides to the story. Listen to the 2-side story. Watch the video in full before you make a comment. I know there's going to be people making a comment to this and thumbs down it and not even watching it because they think I've screwed somebody. And another time I remember what happened, and I hate going through people's cars. It's one of the worst things. I just don't like doing it. And you have to sometimes go through people's cars for the lock nuts. The lock nuts are not always in the boot. Sometimes people put them in the glove box, you know, or they put them in the side pocket of the car, or they put them underneath the seat. They can put them anywhere. And I absolutely hate going through people's cars. And I know you can say, oh, well, you should remind the customer. I don't know if there's lock nuts on the car or not. You know, I don't know. Sometimes the customers are at work, you ring them, they can't answer the phone. So I remember one time I was looking through someone's car. So my arse was in the air, and I was basically looking through someone's car, looking through the glove box. A customer came in. I didn't really see him. I don't know, he could have been there for 20, 30 seconds, and here's me rooting through, and he says hello. So I kind of, oh shit, I stood up and says, yeah, you're all right. And I was speaking to him, and the next minute he went, and literally, I don't know maybe it was 10 minutes, maybe it was 15 minutes, I really don't know. It felt really quick, but obviously it was quite a while. This car came screeching into the shed. This woman hopped out, and son's hopped out with her. What are you doing looking through my car, trying to steal things, blah blah blah, and all this sort of stuff? And I was like, whoa, calm down. What do you mean? I don't, what do you mean? I was told you was going through my glove box and I've got money in there, blah 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 blah. And I said, hold on a second. I said, I was looking for your lock nuts to take off your wheels, because I've got to do your brakes, remember? How can I do your brakes if I don't take off the wheels? And absolutely, just because obviously what the other guy obviously said, God knows what he said, and this woman came down with her sons as if to do something. And fair enough, I'm not disputing it looked dodgy what I was doing, but there's reasons behind it. And again, this is what I'm saying, there's two sides to every story. You know, don't just go off at someone unless you really know what they're actually doing. And if you're really concerned, just leave the cameras, you know, the dash cameras running in your car. I always, in my head, I think that there's loads of hidden cameras in the car. So I do everything I possibly can to not be misconstrued to be doing something wrong. And if someone is watching me, it doesn't bother me, because I know what I'm doing. Fucking idiot! You fucking boom! Fucking hell. And I know I'm doing everything right, so it doesn't bother me. But it's amazing how things can get, this is the problem with Ireland, small roads. It's amazing how things can get, you know, misconstrued very, very quickly. And the problem is, I guarantee you, them two people have gone away. Now, as it turns out, the one with the brakes, I didn't finish the job. I said, you know what, because the way she was going off at me, the way and everything, I said, I'm just going to put because I had the wheels off, I said, I'm going to put the wheels back on your car. And I said, just take it away, because I wasn't going to do the job after that. The other guy, I already had done the job. So, and I guarantee you, they've gone away and they've told people this, but they haven't told the truth. They say, oh, I was told he was looking through my car, or whatever. They haven't told the truth because it puts them in a bad light. And I guarantee you, they were that angry, they would have said something. Now, some of them maybe not. Some of them, once they realise the mistake, they won't say anything. But they'll never come back. And the reason they never come back is that they're so embarrassed of what they've done. Now, it's like water's off a duck's back to me. It doesn't bother me. There's a little bit inside you that think, you know what, you should have trusted me. I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't trust me. I know any car I've ever worked on, I've never taken anything out of it. I've maybe, when I've been hoovering stuff up, I've maybe hoovered, you know, a couple of euros up because you're underneath the seat, you're doing something you can't quite see. Granted. And I don't think I've ever hoovered up any notes, but again, I can't be 100% sure, because maybe when you are underneath the seat, even though when I'm doing a full valet, I take the seats out, but on some of the valets I don't. So there's a possibility, and that could be a nightmare. Now, if the customer did ever complain, the way I always do it, again, is when I'm doing I've got a big, huge industrial hoover, which would suck up notes, it'd suck up anything. So, but if that ever was the case, and the customer had said something, I would just take the hoover off in front of him, and I guarantee you it will be in all the dust and crap in the Hoover, and then that's just a mistake. You know, mistakes happen, even though again some people might think, well, no, I bet you did that on purpose in case I came back. You did. So with them sort of people, there's nothing you can ever do. But what I'm trying to get across is, always, people, there's two sides to every story. Don't just because someone looks like they're doing something wrong doesn't necessarily mean they are. Always question someone, fair enough, but don't pump your shoulders out and pump your chest out and go in, you know, from 0 to 100 like that. Just ask first and exactly what's going on, and you'll find most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, there's a reasonable explanation. And I always do try and remember when a customer car comes in, I say, look, if you've got any lock nuts, just leave them on the seat. It's just one of them things, because some people, yes, I know in a lot of cars they have them in the little thing at the back where the spare wheel goes, but some people buy lock nuts as an extra and there's in a little box and it goes in the glove box. Some people don't even know where they are, you know, there's all, and they just look in the car, I don't know where they are, and I hate it. I hate looking in people's cars. I hate it, and I hate it for that reason, because, like, you know, 1 in a million, but it happened. Someone came in, happened to know the person's car that was in my shed, and basically reported me to that person. So that person then comes down pissed off, which again I can understand. But like I'm saying, just watch the video in full before you comment on someone's video, and get the two sides of the story before you say anything. Because all you're gonna do if you're wrong is you're gonna look like an absolute idiot very, very quickly, and you're gonna spoil your reputation with that person, because then people will never come, but they never have come back to me, not because I've done something wrong, because they're embarrassed the way they acted to me. So always get two sides of the story before you do anything, people. So look, that's just another story. I've got loads of stories that happened to me. Anything else you'd like me to talk about, leave it in the comments down below. As always, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, links up here, links down below, but most importantly, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted.